We are just a real professional team here. I hit the button and then there's a red dot.
How hard could it be?
We need an intern.
We do. You guys want to be our intern?
Does anyone want to be an intern? Do you want to run sound for us?
You want to run sound for us? Hi, welcome back to Baking with Josh and Ange.
Can you hear us? Okay, I mean, here's the deal. Last week on my Italian wedding soup, I hit the mute button. Anyway,
It happens.
I hit the mute button on the mic pack. Sorry for that. And then Josh was like, you were trying so hard to try to fix the sound. We forgot
A whole section. I had
of
this
the video.
The meatball and the bean part edited separately, and I forgot to add it back in because I was so concerned about this.
And then I don't know how neither of us caught it.
We watched it like four times, and we were like, this looks great. I think it's good.
Josh actually edited it together and put it on his Instagram.
And also the recipe is in the description. So
hopefully you enjoyed the soup, guys. So anyway, sound is on today. We're not going to forget to edit anything in.
I hope not.
I hope. We are just a real professional team here. Guys, I have to give a little shout out to my sister Janet, who's in Louisiana. She's a school teacher. She sends us the best care packages.
Oh, yeah.
She always has. She sends the kids books and stickers.
She always sends me cookie cutters.
She sends you tons of cookie cutters and little art projects. And today she sent me this sweatshirt because I'm always cold.
Perfect.
I'm always cold.
It's perfect, Janet. Honestly, like the thermostat war that happens in this house
is fierce. It is fierce.
Like
the minute
so
he leaves
hot.
the house, I crank it, and he comes inside, and he says it's like he opens the door and it's like. Like heat.
Palm Springs, like heat.
You're like sweating. Meantime, I'm freezing.
Yep.
Janet, this was spot on. What are we doing today?
Okay, so today we're going to make something out of my grandma's cookbook.
Listen to this. Grandma Snyder, who lives in Kansas, made a cookbook of all of her favorite recipes.
Yes.
And sent them to Josh's family. It is the sweetest thing. These are all of her favorites. Her name is Lena. I love that we have this.
Me too. And the recipes are actually really good.
They're really good. And we told her we were going to be doing one of her recipes today. So thank you, Grandma Snyder.
Yes, thank you, Grandma Snyder. I have so many memories of being in the kitchen with my Grandma Snyder. She put us to work, though, in the kitchen.
She made you make all kinds of things, right? For like all her meetings.
Yeah, we had to make
groups.
these cream cheese mints, which we should do on Baking with Josh and Ange at some point, because I have such fond memories of those. And yeah, we'd be working and be in the kitchen with our hands dirty.
We
loved it.
I love like the image of you and your grandmother in your kitchen.
Yeah, no, she's
sweet.
a special lady. So I'm excited to have this and to do more recipes in the future too.
And the one we're doing today is so easy, you guys, and it's so good. Our kids love these.
Let me find it here. In the recipe book, it's called Chocolate Drops. These are the no-bake chocolate peanut butter cookies.
It's like chocolate, peanut butter, and oats, right?
Pretty much, yeah, and some butter and some other
things that make it really yummy.
Actually make it
really yummy.
They are really simple. You just have to kind of follow the instructions to a T, otherwise they can turn out dry.
But there is a timing thing on this one. So Josh is going to be at the stove, and I'm going to operate camera today. How do you feel about that? You got to be a little nervous about it.
I'm a little nervous.
You got to be a little nervous about it, considering I hit the mute button last week. He's already told me there's like a square that focuses, and I hit the button and then there's a red dot.
How hard could it be?
I really hope I don't screw it up. I really hope.
I want to say thank you to my lovely camera operator. She has to sit on the table to get this shot.
Because I can't reach it. I'm only going to hit 2 buttons. That's it.
That's it.
We're rolling. There's a red dot.
Okay, for this recipe, we're going to be using Grandma Snyder's cookbook. We're going to make the chocolate drops. So the ingredients you're going to need for the chocolate drops are 1/2 cup butter, 1/2 cup milk, 1/2 cup cocoa, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 2 cups of white sugar, 3 cups of quick cook oats, 1/2 cup peanut butter, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So the first thing you want to do before you start making these chocolate drops is to get your wax paper ready, because once you get into this recipe, you're not going to be able to stop. You want about 2 feet worth of wax paper. After you're done putting the wax paper down, make sure you have a spoon handy, because that's what you're going to use to scoop the mixture out. All right, so let's get started making these chocolate drops. Turn on your heat to medium-low. The first thing we're going to add is the 1/2 cup of butter. Then we'll add the milk, the cocoa, and the salt, and the sugar. Now we are just going to stir this constantly until it comes to a slow boil. You want to keep stirring because you don't want the chocolate to burn. Make sure all the butter's melted, all the sugar's incorporated, everything's kind of dissolved before it comes to a boil. So once we get this to a boil, we're going to cover it and let it boil for 1 minute, but no longer than 1 minute. And the reason I cover it is because it keeps the moisture in. So we want these cookies to be really moist and not too dry. All right guys, so now the mixture is boiling. Put the cover on. Set the timer for 1 minute. It's very important not to overcook this recipe. So once it comes to a slow boil, put the lid on and let it cook for 1 minute, and that's it. Okay, so the 1 minute's up. We're going to remove this from the heat. Take off the lid. First thing we're gonna add is the peanut butter. Stir in the peanut butter until it's all dissolved. Doesn't take too long. Once the peanut butter is all dissolved is when I'm going to put in the vanilla. This is looking really good. Put the quick cook oats all in. Get them all covered. Should be a little runny still. That's how you can tell you didn't overcook it, because they should drop and then kind of.
They kind of plop.
They kind of plop, which is good. So these are perfect, perfect. Nice job, honey. We did it.
Yay!
But then you just want to take a spoonful, probably about a tablespoonful of the mixture, and just drop them right on the wax paper. And this should make about 24 medium-sized cookies. After these are done setting for 30 minutes, we like to put them in the refrigerator because we like to eat these cookies cold. Ange, do you want to come lick the bowl?
I do, very much so.
Get over here. Pretty good, right?
That's really good.
Pretty good.
All right, look at these. I know they're not the prettiest looking things, but they taste so good.
Our kids have a special name for these too.
You can probably guess what they think it looks like.
Them.
But they love them.
They taste delicious, and honestly, they're really easy. Just don't overcook them.
Thank you, Grandma Snyder.
Thank you so much.
You guys, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for sticking with us when we forget sound and drop out whole big portions of our video.
I know. And we're just rookies.
We're rookies here. We're figuring it out. We need an intern.
We do. You guys want to be our intern?
Does anyone want to be an intern? They can say, hey, you don't have the sound on. Here's our intern. Get our intern. There's our intern.
Oh.
Do you want to run sound for us?
You want to run sound for us?
Yeah. You guys like talk to your pets, right?
She does prep. She's our sous chef.
We are such dorks with our pets. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, do all that if you want.
Clickety clackety. People love that you do that.
What?
Yeah,
Go
I've had
clickety
I've had a
clackety.
couple comments about that.
I know this is like a random tangent. This is a little like behind the scenes story of The Office because this makes me think of it, clickety clackety. So I sat in the accounting department. It was me, Oscar, and Kevin, right? Oscar and Brian and I loved to mess with each other when we were off camera. And whenever I would have this really serious dialogue, I'd be angry Angela Martin, Oscar would be sitting right there, just off camera. And he had a big adding machine, like an old-timey adding machine. It was like a prop on his desk. And whenever I had really serious dialogue, he would, in the background, just out of the corner of my eye, camera couldn't see it, he would do this. It would crack me up. I'd be like, Oscar. He'd be like, what? Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, clickety clackety, and have a great day.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Okay.
He wants me to say something, and he does this.
I'm like, hey, remember the thing you're gonna talk about?
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
Bada boom.
What? Bada boom. This is Goodfellas. Bada boom, bada bang.
I need a catch.
You need a catchphrase?
I need a catchphrase. Whippity-doo.
No. Whoopity-doo. I know what my catchphrase is. Oops.
Oops. E.
Oh.
Never hits a square on your face, square on your face. Face, the squares on your face. Do you like my squares?
That's awesome. All right, let's go.
So as you guys know, our grandmothers are a big part of our lives. This recipe is one of Josh's grandmother's recipes. Earlier last year, we did one of my grandmother, Lena's recipes. The reason this kitchen cabinet is blue is because I wanted it to look like my grandmother's kitchen. In my life, I've moved around and things like that, but the one thing that was always constant was my grandmother and my grandmother's kitchen and her home, and that's where we would all come. And this week. My grandmother passed away. I just told Josh that I'd like to dedicate this video to my grandmother. So many of you reached out to me on social media because I had mentioned it, because she's a big part of my life and I've shared about her for years. And thank you so much for your comments and your support. Were really sweet and meaningful. And my grandmother was an amazing person, and I'm so lucky because I had her for so long. I'm so fortunate. She was 100 years old and was very independent and lived on her own up until just a few months ago.
We had the pleasure of meeting her, like us and the kids.
And the kids are so sweet with her, and she just delighted in them and was just an amazing, inspiring woman. I loved her so much. So call your grandmothers, go visit them, write them a letter, call your parents, call your family, reach out. You just think that person's always going to be there, and someday they won't. Here's to you, Lena May. I love you so much.